Yes, we are back. We are back. Hey, T.
Hey, Lissha girl, how you doing?
Good, child. I'm trying to figure out how to give us a different background. I don't like this as much as the living room, though.
I was thinking the same thing today. We got to check with our interior designers.
Yeah, but I don't like I like the living room better. It's more real. Because then, everybody's like, well, how y'all get to the same room? That's what we like that.
Everybody talk about our background, Leash.
Listen, I'm going back in the house. I didn't like that one. Because I got this one, but I don't like that one either.
Nah.
I'm going back in the house with the piano grands, back in the cut back here. That's what I'm about to do.
It looks more natural.
It doesn't it? Yeah, mm-hmm. I like that better. I like the piano grand situation much better.
You know how we feel about music here in the chat room.
Right. So how are y'all? How was everybody? Happy Thursday, y'all.
You know, each day just keeps rolling right into the other. Sometimes I don't know what day it is. We get wrapped up so much in work.
Listen.
COVID, news. It just rolls right into the other.
So much going on. So, we like to talk a little talk before our guests come in. Mm-hmm. So we didn't get to talk about this our last show only because we had, the big show and we had the stuff going on. But I wanted to talk about this because I want to get everybody's opinion. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if you saw it because I know you don't watch TV much, T. But Did you hear about Lissa Ray and Debrat? You know they're sisters.
No, I didn't know they were sisters.
Yes, they're sisters. So Lissa
Like blood
Ray,
sisters?
blood sisters.
Wow.
So Lissa Ray was upset because she had to find out that Debrat was engaged via social media. I think via a interview. Mm-hmm. And so she was very upset because she felt like her sister should have told her she was getting married.
Now there's a delay. There's a delay, Leash. Can you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly. Can you hear me?
Yeah, your words. I hear your words before you say them out of your mouth. Does that make sense?
Oh, I got Chinese mouth going on. How are you doing today?
Now you know we got to be politically correct.
Welcome to Let's Chat. Y'all know we some fools. We always clown around. You want me to go out and come back in, T? Hold on, let me go out and come back in. I'll be right back.
Y'all, why she leave me with the cracking up scene? But seriously, how y'all doing? Have y'all heard about the topic that Lissha's talking about? If you have, weigh in on it.
All right, so I'm back. Is that better, T?
No, it's about the same. Let me go and come back in.
Okay.
All right.
Y'all know we be fooling. We fools up in here. But yeah, so I want to ask a question about that because so it was Lissa Ray's birthday a couple of weeks ago, and she does a show on Fox, and the brat surprised her on the show. And you can tell that, she was really emotional about it. So whatever their separation or their issue was, it was emotional for her. Okay. So when the brat surprised her on the show, she was very emotional about the situation. But the brat is the one that bought it out saying that there was some distance and it was my fault. But she didn't want to let her birthday pass without making her, telling her happy birthday. Mm-hmm. And so the conversation persisted, and I think that the brat should have left it at that, but she didn't. So then Lissa Ray was kind of like, oh, well, if you want to talk about it, since we're here, and right, so let's talk about it. And so she did vent, but you could tell she was very upset. She feels like I'm supposed to be your sister. I'm your family, and you're doing something like this, and you don't even tell me. Forget telling the world, you don't tell me. Mm-hmm. Would you be upset with your sister?
Absolutely. I should have been next to the bride.
To the girlfriend.
I should have been next in line.
For the phone call.
Yeah.
That's what I think. I would be upset.
Now, is it just the two of them? Do they have like mother, father, brothers? It's just the two of them?
Yeah, I think they have the same father and different mothers.
Okay, but still
but it don't matter. Your sister is your sister. And if y'all tight like that, if you're gonna get married, that's something serious. That's something really serious, that another family addition is being added. Right. And you should talk to her and let her know, we're not telling everybody. Nobody knows. The flip side to that is, yes, they're entitled to privacy. And if they choose not to tell anyone, they choose not to tell anyone. That is their prerogative. Right. True. That's true. But at the same time, family is family. And so your family, nobody wants to be sideswiped by hearing in social media and then get interviewed like, so what do you feel about the brat's upcoming marriage? It's like, what marriage? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Nobody wants to do that. Mm-hmm.
But especially, Leash, it's something different when the female is the one getting engaged. Even on the wedding day, it's just something more special. I don't know, call me old fashioned, but like when the girl of the family gets engaged,
it's an experience.
Right. It's a whole family experience, and it's just special. Mm-hmm. So I can see how she being upset. It's just natural. It's right. not anything. It's just natural. And that's not the way you want to find out your sister's has gotten engaged.
I feel the same way. Now, if it was a friend that didn't tell anybody, that's different. But your sister, that's saying that you're anybody. If that's your sister, then you're not anybody. You're her family.
Right.
Anybody means the average person on the street.
Right.
So, but she did admit that she was wrong. You know, she did admit that she was wrong, but I still understand why Lisa Ray is upset. And I think to kind of surprise her on her show, it was a nice gesture, but you should have had a conversation with her before, at least amidst your argument. Not even telling her you were coming on, but at least amidst your argument, touching bases with her. At least I love you, you know, whatever the case may be. But you should have done that prior to the show. So her reaction and her feelings were a little watered down. I think, you know, we get upset. We start talking about stuff. Whatever you mad about kind of get watered down at that point.
It becomes irrelevant. And that's something that's going to stay with her for a long time. You know, that's something that you just can't let go, especially coming from your sister. That's just, I don't want to say disrespectful, but it's disrespectful. It's just, that's a hurt. That's a hurt that it's going to take a long time to get over, if you ever get over it.
I agree. Well, y'all know we get up here, we get to chit chat. Go ahead, Toni, open us on up.
Absolutely. Well, once again, welcome to Let's Chat. My name is Miss Toni. I'm joined by the one and only Miss Lissha.
Listen, I had the Chinese talking effect. You know, back in the day, you watched like Ip Man. Have you ever seen Ip Man? And then, or Kung Fu, or old Kung Fu movie, and it's like, how are you doing?
And I used to love Bruce Lee shows. Oh man, I was one of those Bruce Lee fanatics. I saw everything that he came out with.
So you want to play with me?
Oh Lord, it's gonna be one of those nights, Lissha.
Listen, y'all. We like to have a good time. Go ahead, open us up, see.
Well, welcome once again to Let's Chat. We're gonna take it down.
Yes, we're gonna bring it back together.
Well, we thank you guys for joining us tonight, and for those that are joining us for the very first time, welcome, and we thank you for joining us. Lissha and I, just to give you a little bit of what we do here on Let's Chat. You know, we started off our show about 6-7 years ago. You know, we are lovers and avid readers. We started off with just books. But Let's Chat has evolved into so much more, and not just books. We do sports, we do law, we do meds. We do meds. I gotta clean that up. we do all types of things. You know, every genre that is out there in the world, they have come through the doors of Let's Chat. You know, even some people that are on the red carpet gives Lissha and I a few minutes before they go into their grand entrances. So we thank everybody that tunes in, that joins us every week. You know, we can't do this without you. So we want to say thank you for always supporting what we do here on Let's Chat. We appreciate it.
I gotta clean my mirror a little bit.
You clean your house over there.
I gotta clean the window a little bit. I just seemed a little foggy. I don't know. For me, it could be I got reading glasses on just for computer, so maybe it could be
glasses clean.
Yeah, I cleaned them. Sorry, y'all. I did.
But we got a great show, Lissha. One of our guests, he always chimes in on everything we do. You know, Mr. James Rahman, we are so excited to finally have him in the chat room here on Let's Chat Live. You know, he's gonna come up here and cut up. Because that's what we do here on Let's Chat. You know, he can talk about just about everything, Lissha. Because
that's right.
Him in the chats with us, talking about everything from A to Z. So who knows what we're gonna get into tonight?
Well, I got a good question for him. So I'm ready. I'm ready. I've been preparing. I've been preparing for him.
Oh, Mr. Rodman, you better watch out.
But y'all, I want to shout out Naila.
Kai.
Say it again.
Nalena Kai.
Lenana Kai. Listen, I call her Kai. I can tear her name up. Y'all know I can. I ain't even gonna hold you up. Can straight tear her name right on up. But I want to shout her out. She invited us to be panelists at her cavalcade of authors for this year. And so we had a great time with her and the tribe. Thank you guys so much for rocking with the ladies of Let's Chat. We've had a lot of them on our show. Make sure you go back and hit our archives up on blogtalk.com, on our iTunes for Let's Chat across the board, on all platforms. But I want to just tell her thank you. It was a really great experience.
It was. So, and the whole tribe, you know, one thing I love about it is they all support each other, Lissha.
They all support each other.
I love that. That support is just, it's just so invaluable.
I agree. So she had us on. We did our panel with her. So I shout her out for that. We also have an interview that we did a couple weeks ago that should be coming out. So we'll make sure we get that shared. We done a little bit more. Toni be like, I'll be dragging her out and stuff. Like,
you want me to do what, Lissha?
Like, we got an interview at on the show? No, on somebody else's show.
So we got to be on the other side of the mic.
We got the other side of the mic. We got to do that from time to time. We got to get on the other side of the mic from time to time. But and it's a process. It's a process. But we appreciate everybody that rocks with us. Shout y'all out. Thank y'all so much. We're gonna bring in our open the show up. See, did you open the show?
I sure did. You want me to open it up again? Oh, James better get ready because we in one of those moods.
Yes. Listen. Let's bring him on in. Welcome. Hi.
Hello. How are you?
We are good.
Fine. Finally.
Yeah. It's been a long time waiting. I'm happy to be here. Amongst the celebrities.
Oh, stop. Say it a little louder.
Y'all, T is on one. She on one. But you can actually say it again, yeah. Oh my goodness, I love it. But for all of those that are not aware of the fabulous James Rodman, tell everybody a little bit about your literary journey and your work.
Well, I'm author James Rodman. First book out, My Butterfly, and it's about chasing love since a child to adulthood, with some very interesting things along the way. And I got engaged on national TV, didn't marry the girl. That's the synopsis of really why I really wanted to write the book, because the stories that I tell, most people would think it was a fairy tale or not true, but it's actually my life. So I had a good time writing it. Had great editing. My mom and Toni was my professional editor. So I had a great time writing it, and I'm glad I chose to become an author. So I'm on my way.
Now, wait a minute. We're not going to act like you didn't say what you just said and let you slide that on across. Now, set this up for us here. You proposed to somebody on national TV. Did she say yes?
She said yes.
Okay, so she said yes.
Right. Where did you do this? Queen Latifah's talk show.
Oh, I love Queen Latifah.
We did a surprise engagement in one of my favorite restaurants in New York. I proposed. It was actually 5 years into the relationship. I don't want to say too much because it's, they can read about it. But 5 years into the relationship, I proposed on national TV because I wanted to do it a special way that nobody would believe I could come up with. And I thought that was a great way. And it turned out that 11-year relationship went down the drain, but it wasn't a bad thing because we learned from stuff like that.
That's right.
And I learned a lot because I love hard. So in loving hard, trusting hard, you have to learn that what you require is what you have to give. So most men, not speaking for all, not generalizing, but most men don't realize when we ask women for faithfulness and this and that, we have to give it 100%. You can't play with it. You can't be 75% faithful, 80% faithful, and think you're going to get 100% out of your wife or woman. It's not going to happen. So that's a lesson we men may learn a little too late, but we learn it sooner or later if we want to be with someone and be successful in a relationship.
Absolutely, and I'm glad that you said that. We gonna let you talk that talk for a minute, but we gonna come back to this, and we gonna talk a little bit more because we gonna talk a little bit more. We gonna talk a little bit more.
All right, all right, all right, all
Okay,
right.
so this is your first book of the out the gate. What made you title it Butterfly?
Well, when I was little, my mom used to say if you shoo a butterfly off of you and that particular butterfly flies around and lands back on you, then that's your butterfly. So I've been chasing love in a way that every time I turn around, people say, "Oh, you're asking for too much. You shouldn't want this. You shouldn't want that." And I'm saying, I think it's possible. So I'll wait because I only want to get married one time. And that's the way I'll know she was the one because we won't want to separate or be divorced. And I'll wait. I'm 49, been through some things, been through about 3 or 4 relationships, long term, 11-year relationship, 5-year. So I've learned some things as a man. And I can be open and honest and transparent about certain things that most men don't. They don't really share their feelings because being in love is the best strength on the planet. It really is. So if
I
you're in a
want
relationship, go ahead. I
to,
hear you,
no,
Tony.
I want to say, by me editing the book, and I'm gonna try not to give too much away myself. It was very interesting to see a man's perspective on this walk of love, finding love. And you're very transparent. You shared yourself in that book. It's like a true real life love story. And I gotta say, when I got the book, that cover is just absolutely beautiful. Every time I look at your cover, I just smile. Because Lissha and I, we're book bougie. And that
Oh,
cover has
okay.
to be on point. We used to hide it, but now we embrace it. You know?
I
And
never heard that before.
and we petty too. Look, and we petty too. Where my book at? Look.
I got you. I got you. I got you. I'm new to the technology and stuff. You see, I'm just getting the Let's Chat Radio on Instagram. I didn't know who to tag, what to tag. So I'm learning. I'm learning as I'm coming along. I will get you the book. I took a lot of time. Navi was the one that really put that book together for me, and I'll share his information with you guys. But that butterfly landing on that heart with those piano keys was my entire life right there because I used to be a DJ, so the music was there. Each chapter is a playlist, so I don't want to get that away, but there's a lot to it. It's like my whole life is this book, and it's not a very long book, but it's very instructional, very inspirational from me. I don't know how people would take it, but my trials and tribulations, I put the bad with the good. It's a lot of things that people felt I should have left out. But if I'm going to be open and honest and transparent, I got to put the bad in there too. So I did that. Right. I did that. I'm not ashamed of it. That's 30 years ago. I moved on. I learned. I became a great man in 2020. I'm a great man throughout all of that experience from childhood to now. So that's what I want to put forth in the book.
And I'm glad you said that. I'm sorry, Lise. You since you've already let the cat out the bag about the chapters being a playlist, I think as your readers read that book and they look at the chapters of each, at the songs in the chapter, it may trigger something in them because it triggers something in me. You think back to those songs. Those are some beautiful songs that you have as your chapters. I mean, his chapter titles are songs, so what made you do that? Because that's very different and unique.
Well, I just went back to, like most men won't admit this. When we break up, when you have a bad breakup with a woman and you have to ease that pain and get over her, it's hard. That knot in your stomach every day, you forgetting to eat, you lost 30 pounds in 2 days. So for me, I used to take the iPod and put all the love songs on it and just put the headphones on and go jogging. Because when I broke up with my 11-year relationship, I was 285 pounds. And the last thing she said to me was, "Won't nobody want your fat ASS." So I said, wow. But now today, I'm 195 pounds and will never be that heavy again because my confidence is up. My life is going better. I feel better, moving better. And you know, I got my hair cut today for you guys. I got my hair cut and everything. So,
Oh,
you know,
shoot.
it's just yeah. So with those breakups, right? With those breakups, girls or women usually go to the girlfriends. They have a girls' night out and they talk about men like a dog all night and get over it. Well, men, we don't do that. So, men, we don't gather and release that pain because it hurts when we break up. We know we miss these. You know, you break up, you want to be tough, but you miss that person. But deep down inside, you know, it's just not going to last forever. And if you're searching for forever, you can't play with, you know, right now. You got to be with somebody that's going to look at you like you are there forever, or else you're wasting time. You know, you're wasting time.
I love
Well,
that.
you know, I don't believe in forever. I believe in until forever is no more. But yeah, I said it. Don't send me no inboxes. I
Are
said
you
it.
married? Are you married?
Yes, I'm married. I still
You're
don't believe in
married,
forever. I don't
and
believe in
you
forever because people die. Like things
well that's
happen. So
but that's an inevitable
there
forever
is
that got messed
no
up.
forever. Not well, I
What I'm
don't
talking
believe
about, forever
forever.
with that man. Don't you want to be with that man for the rest of your life?
Until forever is no more.
Right, but when I get married and I take those vows and I give her that beautiful kiss, I'm
Mm-hmm.
looking at I'm looking at the rest of my life forever. In other words, I hope I pass before she does so she can still enjoy life. But what I'm saying is that's the last woman I want to be with forever. I don't want to play around and play games with somebody else. That's why I'm marrying her because she's my all.
Right.
She's my be all.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You
That's
know.
right. But you know, a lot of times that comes with also when people go into relationships, any relationship, married, just dating, sometimes they tend to have preset expectations. And when you
Right.
go into something with a preset expectation, you're expecting something specific. So sometimes when you get into a relationship, even in 11 years, because that's a very long time not to
Yeah.
know somebody and then be like, I want to change my mind. Sometimes there are just some things in life I feel you just can't change your mind about. But in a relationship, if you're not, if you know that you went in it and you didn't go in it right, you know, sometimes people break up because y'all have really just exchanged pride. You've
Right.
exchanged your pride with their pride, and now can't nobody see past nothing because everybody is just exchanging pride. Nobody is really giving their real self. And I think that sometimes when people give their real self, or they say that the other person is not giving their self, it's vice versa. You're
Right.
you're not giving your real self, but you want them to give them, like you said in the beginning. You got to be able to give what you're not getting, and vice
Right.
versa. You want them to give you something that you're not giving. You know what
Right.
I'm
Well,
saying?
believe me, I pick very good women. So even though we don't last and we break up, they're still good, great women. It's just the combination or the chemistry is not going to be what we're going to need to go for the next 50 years. And I understand that. I knew that about her early on, but I put the small things to the side and I started thinking this was it. You know, family was influencing me and stuff like that. But she's still a great woman. Don't get me wrong. I have walked away from some great women, but they're just not great for me at the time. And I know what it's going to take for me to last 20 and 30 years married to someone and enjoying every day because I don't do depression. I don't do emotional mood swings. The menstrual cycle has nothing to do with how you treat me, etc. I just thought I'd throw that in there. But I'm a happy-go-lucky guy. As long as nobody passed away, I'm having fun. I just lost two grandmothers in 60 days,
Mm-hmm.
2020. And I'm going through stuff and people are like, are you okay? And I'm saying, yeah, because I'm going to be all right. I had peace. I made peace with them. I hugged my grandmothers, kissed them, seen them, and then they passed. I'm okay. So there's nothing to fret. It's like nothing to keep going on with negativity, and that's part of life. So we move on and we keep grinding. You keep moving. You don't let it sit you back. Some
Mm-hmm.
people, like the woman I was with for 11 years, that would have shaken her for months and months. And that's the part that kind of turns me off because I don't mope and sit around. I grind and I keep it moving.
Mm-hmm.
So once you realize that about yourself, you have to know who your counterpart is so you can use that as energy or reciprocate some energy.
Nah.
Now, Lissha and I, we always differ on this. You know,
Okay, go ahead.
I believe.
What's she got? What's there to differ? What's there to differ?
You did a rolling stop past all them stop signs, and you talk about something you didn't see forever. If you got to pass a stop sign and not stop, and you keep going, so a rolling stop, a lot of time we see stop signs. We see things that let us know that in a relationship there's something that's going to be a little bit different. And when you do a rolling stop, just like if you do a rolling stop at a stop sign, what you're going to do in real life, you're going to get a ticket. Right. So in a relationship, when we do rolling stops, that means we see something, but we put those small things to the side. You know what you just did? Those things are things that we have to look into, even though they look small. Because this is the thing. To love
that's
somebody.
That's how I lasted 11 years.
Right.
Because I kept rolling and stopping.
True, but to love somebody forever, you have to love them beyond what turns you off. You have to love them beyond what you don't like. Sometimes at some point in time in a relationship, love becomes it becomes a choice to love that person through, even if they get really emotional and that's not your thing, or they lack emotion and that's not your thing. You have to love them with all of their flaws. You can't pick out stuff and say, oh, it's this. Oh, this is great. Oh, no, I don't like this. And then say that, you got to be able to love them through whatever you don't like. That's how you get to forever. That's why I say.
The love that's reciprocated in what you're saying would also be not repeating the same thing is turning me off. And I'm trying my hardest to show you that I accept it about you, but that doesn't work for me. So if you keep doing that, it's intentional. And that's not love.
Well, until forever is no more. That's why I say until forever is no more.
Yeah, but forever. Each relationship I get to, I get closer and closer. Each relationship I get to, I get so much closer and closer to this beautiful butterfly that I'm looking for. You wouldn't believe it. I'm almost there. So just pray for me. I'm thinking in the next 2 years, I should find it.
That's right. You just keep looking.
But I have to say, Lissha had a point. She and I, we always look at things like this differently. But the point that she made just now, I can agree with that. You have to look past the faults. You can't always agree on everything, but you have to agree to disagree. And I think that helps in your forever. But it's funny that we're talking about this topic because, I was working on a job today and something just popped in my head and I looked over at hubby Licious and I thought to myself, I can't picture myself without him in my life, because we've been together so long. We've been married. We just celebrated 28 years. I haven't even told him this. He may hear me in the other side. But it just came in my mind that we've gone through ups and downs. Nothing is ever smooth. Marriage is a job. You have to work at it. But just to this afternoon, I'm like, I can't picture him not in my life, because he's just such a part of it. So that's what I'm talking about. We're having this conversation. So you have to look at both sides, but it's a journey. It's you have to work at your forever is what I'm trying to say.
And I want that woman, Leash. I want that woman that says when she says to herself, I'd rather be in his world than be without him in mine. You remember that from the song? Remember that when you're reading that book, Leash.
I remember that. Now, what was the process like when you sat down to write the book? Because you had to really kind of relive a tough time in your life.
Yeah, well, as I wrote the book, it took a couple years to write. And I really didn't bring it out because some of the examples, I put some family members that I loved in there. And I had an uncle who was going through stage 4 cancer, trying to survive and fighting for his life. So during this 2-3 year stint doing that, I didn't want to bring the book out knowing that I had mentioned him and his wife in the book. So I waited and waited and waited. He passed away and I still waited another year before I was able to have the heart to bring the book out because I didn't want him to be discussing the book and fighting for his life. So I just, supported him as best I could. Right. And I used to go see him and he used to love to see me. So it was a hard that was a hard one too, a hard death that I have to deal with. But that's the reason why I didn't bring the book right out. But now that it's out, and I guess you can say, I don't know what you would call it, when you know, cut the red tape, cut the whatever, when you do a business. I'm seeing so many things that I could have done differently in the book that I'll do for my next book, because my next book was halfway written when I was completing this one. But now I see, like, from a literary standpoint, where my objective should be, and that books are a business, and books should tell a story and inspire anyone, not necessarily a certain group of people, a certain gender. So I focus on speaking for the men, because we get such a bad rap in these relationships and love talks. But I'm trying to show the men as well, like, you have to be honest with these women. If you're honest with these women, a lot of times you'll get better results. And I have friends in the past, not friends that I have now, cheated on their wives, cheated on their girlfriends, this and that. And I was always the one, like, maybe you shouldn't do that, but I was a cheater too. So I had to learn, So once I decided I don't want to be a cheater anymore, like, I'm 49, never tasted alcohol, never even had a beer in my life. And I made that decision at 8 years old. So when I decided I'm not going to cheat, if I commit to someone, that's it. It's me and you against the world. I can walk in a room and be 10 men with no clothes on and you. I'm not going to ask you what's going on. I'm just going to ask you, are you all right? Because I trust you. That, for me, is strong. Most men won't do that. Most men won't understand that. And I want a woman who, if she comes in the house and it's 10 naked women, I don't want her to start going off. I want her to walk up to me and say, babe, is everything okay? And we can start from there. Because if I'm wrong, I'm going to have to tell her. But if I'm not, if I'm innocent, she didn't accuse me of something I didn't do already. And that's a lot of women do that. And the worst thing you can do is accuse a man who's actually 100% faithful. He knows it. God knows it. But when you accuse him, he doesn't feel like it was worth the sacrifice to be faithful to you if you're still going to get accused. Right. So I would never do that to my significant other. I would never accuse unless I knew something or saw something with my own eyes, stuff like that. But I learned these things over time. Lissha, I know you're about to say something. I can just see it on your face. I see it on your face, girl. I see it on your face.
I don't have nothing to say.
Okay.
I have nothing to say. Yeah. This would be my thing. I think that, and I think Nipsey Hussle talked about this. You have to know your woman so well that she don't have to ask. You already know what it is. So if you know your woman so well, one, not knowing how you got in a room with all the women, you would make sure that you don't put yourself in certain situations where you end up like that, because you know your woman so well, and vice versa. Knowing your man
it was an extreme hypothetical, Lissha. It was just
I'm just saying that wasn't a good one.
She's taking it literally, James.
Yeah. See, I'm gonna tell you a little bit of the book, a little bit of one part. I was with a woman that I really loved. Everything. I was the happiest man on the planet. She came in the house 4 o'clock in the morning. I didn't question her. I just said, babe, are you okay? She said, yeah. I went back to sleep. When I woke up in the morning, she was standing over me with her arms folded. And first thing she said was, you didn't ask me where I was last night. I said, I trust you 100%. That's 24 hours a day. When I said that, she couldn't respond because she wasn't used to that. So I learned some things along the way, Lissha.
I'm trying. Okay, I hear you.
Trying.
I see you.
It's all in the book. It's all in the book. My Butterfly, author James Rodman, authorjamesrodman.com. My editor's information is in there. I mean, without Toni, and I want to say, I appreciate you because you took your time with me. And I was talking to people who wrote books, and I said, my editor did this, and that, and that, and that. They were like, she's not supposed to do that. I said, yeah, but guess what? It helped me. So I appreciate what you did, and your comments, the little things on the side, the little comment. It actually helped me as a first-time author realize where I was going wrong in my thought process to put it on paper, because most people don't understand. It's not easy writing a book, much less putting your thoughts to paper.
That's right.
That's not easy. That's not easy. So a lot of people take it for granted. Oh, you wrote a book, and they walk away. They don't realize what it took to get there. So
right. And the best side about tea is because when you're in the editing process, there's a lot of technicalities and things that they're going to talk about that you're not going to understand. And so that's the best part about T is she makes sure that if she tells you something in a technical way to have to change your mindset, she's going to make sure that she explains it so that you understand this is what it is. And if you're not so sure after that, then she's going to have a conversation with you and say, okay, well, in this process, this is what normally happens. And that's the best part about her as a skill, because she has great people skills. She's a reader at heart, but she knows how to just help people get through it.
Right. I'm going to stick with her. I'm going to stick with her throughout my whole journey if I can. I'm going to stick with her. And I got introduced to her through Keisha Green. So anybody who knows Keisha Green, KeishaGreen.com. But I'm going to stick with you till I, for some reason, can't. You understand? I don't care how successful I am or unsuccessful, but we don't think negative. We think positive.
That's right.
So when I become rich, worth $10, $15 million, and they say, well, who's your editor? They already know who my editor is.
I'm here for you. I'm here for you, James. You know that.
Yes.
Now, James, if you had to drop some jewels on a new author, somebody that's maybe writing their first book, already written it, in the process of thinking about making that step, based on what you have learned through everything, what type of jewels would you drop on them? Give us 5 jewels you would drop on somebody.
Do a lot of research, and anything that you are second guessing, research it, whether it's Google, other authors, do the research, because somebody has tried it before you. See what happened. I wouldn't say follow all those footsteps. Like, I didn't choose Amazon. I'm trying to stay away from Amazon. I want Amazon to come to me. So I don't want to give them the 65% right off the top for them to be involved in my book. I want them to come to me and I tell them, I'll give you guys 15% if you want to push my book. But by that time, it'll be because I'm popular. So I've been selling everything off my own website, and I always want to tell people, even though you want to, like a lot of people, there's pride in having written a book, but there's pride in understanding it's a business, and that money should be coming to you.
That's right.
You know, so I sent my book to Tyler Perry. I sent it to both of his places, Atlanta and New York. Atlanta sent it right back. New York didn't send it back for 2 months, and they opened it and resealed it. Like they didn't read it, so they know I got my lawyers waiting, because if Tyler Perry makes this movie, I'm gonna get that paper.
Right.
But yeah, so if you're writing a book, and don't write a book just because one particular event happened in your life and you want to express that one event. If you want to be a writer, be a writer. A writer has a lot to do with it. Don't just write. Like I have some friends, they wrote books, but it was one particular subject. And once that subject was over, they didn't have anything else to add to the literary world. So I would say to the new authors coming out, if you just want to do that one project to say you're a writer, I respect that. But don't expect a lot out of that in just one project. So I that's the jewel I would give them. And I grind. I sell my books at a gas station over here in the suburbs.
You better talk about it.
I don't live in the suburbs, but I go to this particular gas station because it's in a place called Verona. And I've met so many people. There are guys pulling up in Lamborghinis and Ferraris, like, how much is the book? So I sell them the book, take a few pictures, put it on Instagram. So people are really seeing my hustle. And then I got a text from Latifah. Queen Latifah texted me. She's like, I see you grinding. I said, yes, sis, because I call her my sister. I said, yes, I want her to be proud of what I'm doing, because we grew up together. That's how I got on her show and all that stuff. But
she got a production company too. I smell a movie.
Yeah.
Listen,
Flavor Unit Films. Flavor Unit Films. Flavor Unit Films.
Yeah.
So I hope that helps any authors that are coming out, because I'm still learning too. So I'm giving this advice, but I'm not giving it from an expert aspect. I'm learning too, and I'm looking at authors. I even saw a book cover. They tried to mimic mine recently.
Really?
They did their cover in like July or August. So I reached out to the young lady. I said, listen, this is not cool. And people were telling me you're not supposed to, you're supposed to just take it like imitation is flattery. I said, yeah, but I want them to know it took a lot for me to come up with that. Don't just mimic it and throw it out there.
Right.
So I just wanted them to know. I mean, there's nothing I can do legally, but I just wanted them to know that they even used the same fonts. I was upset.
Wow.
But as the first time author, I think that's what it was. But I'm not used to being mimicked and imitated. So it should be flattery, but I didn't like it. I didn't like it.
You work for that, right, James?
They don't know what we went through. Me and Navi and Keisha Green overall, and then oh man, they just don't know what we went through. So my graphic designer was able to give me exactly what I wanted. So for somebody to just mimic it and throw it out there, even though hers was poetry, you used my same font. You didn't even change. She used the same B and the Y from the word butterfly, and she called hers something butterflies. I said, oh, but it's a lesson learned because you know, at least I know somebody did pay attention to the book cover. And I look at the book cover all the time. I mean, I go to sleep with it. I'm not gonna lie. I go to sleep with it pointing at me on my dresser because I am proud of what I did.
Yeah, bring it over a little bit more. Put it in there.
So they can see it.
Yeah, put it up there.
I'm proud of that.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah. So it's my butterfly, the piano keys, the butterfly actually lands on the heart. I'm just trying to make people think too. Like when you look at the cover, I want you to say, well, what does this mean? Then I want you to open it up and see, like, why are these titles songs? And then at the end of it, if you ever have a breakup, all you gotta do is play these songs. You'll be okay. Because these, you know, since we were kids, we've been hearing these songs, but the words didn't mean anything. But as soon as you have a breakup and your heart is hurting, these words sound so different, and they get you through some hard times. Songs, music. So that's what it's about.
Awesome. I enjoyed working with you. You know, the book itself is beautiful, like I said, and it gave me food for thought. You know, I was thinking as I was working the book, the script, that this is gonna touch somebody. Somebody needs to hear this. You know, it's this that deep of a story, and you do bear your soul on those pages. And that's one thing that authors, you know, readers have to realize, that authors leave their blood, sweat, and tears on those pages. And especially if it's a personal book, it's a personal story, you know, that's even more. So I took that book very seriously. You know, I took those lessons learned, because you can never know too much. You know, there's always room for growth. And it was just interesting coming from a man's perspective. That's what I appreciated more than anything, just to hear how you felt going through this series of relationships, you know, because I know how I would feel as a woman, but just to hear the rawness of how you felt and the things that you went through and the things that were going through your head, that made me appreciate that story even more. So I say thank you from this woman that has read that book.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
I think as readers, you know, we see an author's naked soul. We actually see your soul in your pen. We see your passion in your pen. So for you to have a project that speaks to your soul, and it takes so much of you and put it into, that helps the reader become more connected to you as the author, because it's relatable, but they're feeling your spirit. They're feeling the things that you went through in all of your words. And so as a reader, that's the best part of reading a book, when you can scratch the author's soul just by reading their words.
Right. I agree.
I appreciate that.
I wait for my book.
Yeah. I'll get your address. I'll get your address to send it right out to you. And I appreciate you ladies having me tonight.
Oh, we've been waiting for you to come into the chat, Warren.
Now, we always like to do something fun. You've been on our show before, so you know what it is. I'm sure Tony's so easy on you.
You guys have great energy. I'm telling you, I'm gonna witness this, and then I'm gonna be in the audience when it hits big. Don't forget about the little guys like me, because I'm gonna be there when y'all sitting up there on that big platform. Don't forget about me.
When I'm knocking on the door, don't act like you don't see me outside.
Yeah, definitely.
But Tina's gonna give you a fun question. I don't know what it is. That's not part of my department. I just sit back and watch. But she's gonna give you a fun question. And go ahead, T. I'm ready.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, James, you know how much we appreciate you. And it's funny that you used to say our energy, because Lissha and I was just on a panel this past weekend, and everything was like, we love their energy. We love their energy. So we thank you for that. Sometimes we get so wrapped up into what we do, we don't even realize the energy that we exert. So we thank you,
I
and
can
we're
imagine.
positive.
Okay,
But
okay.
you know, for your question tonight, and it's based on your book, on your journey. Now I know you've heard this question a few times. It's our crayon question, but I don't want the crayon to just describe you. I want this big box of crayons, whatever that crayon is in that box, to describe your journey. You know, your ups, your downs, your in betweens. I want you to give us a color that describes James Rodman's journey.
I'm gonna have to pick
You see
yellow.
that sweat coming down?
Yeah. I'm gonna have to pick yellow because yellow can go towards a little negative thinking in a
Mm-hmm.
way. And then yellow can be the sunshine of any lesson learned.
Mm.
So I've actually come out of a lot of things with a lesson. That's why the 11-year relationship, 5-year relationship, 4-year relationship,
Mm-hmm.
people say, well, don't you regret that wasted time? And I'm thinking like, nah, because actually it gave me something that I'm
Right.
still using right now to
That's
make
right.
sure that I don't repeat that mistake going
Mm-hmm.
forward. So yeah, I'm gonna have to say the color yellow. My favorite color is black. Everything I have, cars, black. I love black. Black is me. I'm a black man. I'm a proud black man. I love black women. So black is my favorite color. But for that question, my answer is yellow for that reason. Yellow can go to a soury lemon yellow to sunshine and beautiful and growth. So
I love
I
that.
choose yellow. I choose
I
yellow.
like that. I usually ask the question for that person, but I wanted to know the journey that you have gone on, and I think that really pretty much fits exactly what the from one extreme to the other, and
Good one,
all
T.
that's in between.
Good one, T.
Yeah,
Good one.
that was a hard question there. No, I didn't get to practice or nothing there. Whatever.
We don't do practice on Let's Chat.
Yeah, ain't no practice. Ain't no practice.
Woo.
We so appreciate
Yeah,
you coming and kicking with us, sharing your time, your space, and energy, sitting in the hot seat, uh,
yeah.
sharing your wisdom and your journey. We want you to shout out all of your social media where everybody can meet you, greet you if you have any events coming up,
Okay.
where everybody
Um,
can get your book.
at author James Rodman on Instagram, Facebook. I'm author James Rodman.
Mhm.
www.authorjamesrodman.com. You can go in there and read about the book, purchase the book, debit or credit, PayPal verified. Everything is good.
Mhm.
That's all my social media. I have a LinkedIn, but I don't know the LinkedIn thing. But other than that, those are my platforms, and
Mhm.
the website is really where I want people to go so they can actually purchase the book if they're interested in the book. So that's www.authorjamesrodman.com.
Awesome. You have any
Yeah.
events coming up?
Actually, I did some book signings at a few restaurants, so I've been doing that in my around my way.
I
And
see
in the
those.
beginning,
I wish I can come to them. I'm gonna
yeah,
show,
yeah.
I might
Well,
show
I
up.
like to eat. I like to eat, so I said, let me sell some books while I'm eating. But a lot of people were telling me, be happy if you sell 100 books in 30 days. And I'm thinking like 30 days, 100 books. Do they know who they're talking to? So I'm close to I'm close to 3,000 books, and it was about 4 months so far. So I'm doing all of this out the trunk of my BMW. Technically, it's a convertible, but I'm saying I'm selling these books out the car. I'm selling these books at the gas station. I'm selling these books in
Mhm.
restaurants. Everywhere I go, I have 20, 30 books with me no matter where I go. I start a conversation, I sell my books. But the online stuff is what I'm learning on how to direct people and direct the traffic to the
Mhm.
website. So
Awesome.
I
Absolutely.
appreciate you ladies and this platform. I wish you guys the best. I'm going to be a fan in your live anyway. But
Oh,
I just love the energy. I love the energy and beautiful black women projecting their energy onto the people. That's a good thing. You can't go wrong with that.
I
well,
love
we
it. I
appreciate
love it. We appreciate you. We thank you so very much. And you are welcome back anytime.
that.
2021, we are doing Let's Chat Sports. So I know you like you some sports. We're going to have you on there now.
Okay. I don't do the regular sports though. I don't like basketball and football.
What you like?
I like boxing and drag racing, cars. I'm into
We
the
talk
car.
about. I could talk about anything.
Listen, Tony
Oh,
got
okay.
from left to right. My girl
All
got
right.
it.
All right. I like hot rods and classic cars, old cars and stuff like that. That's what I'm into.
Classics.
Yeah, 1968 Camaro. That's my last car I had. I sold it. So, and that car was older than me. I was born in 71. That car I had was 1968 Camaro.
Wow.
Yeah. So, well, I know you ladies have another interview after me here.
Yes.
That's what I was reading. Yes. So, I might just click off and log on and listen and find out what's going on with the world. I'm always learning. I'm always grinding.
That's right. You're always welcome.
Yeah.
Always welcome.
I appreciate it.
We appreciate you.
Y'all have a blessed evening.
Mm-hmm. You do too.
Keep on grinding. And success is in your future. Trust me.
Hold on to it.
Hold on to that word. That's the word right there. We gonna hold it. We gonna hold it.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going and I'm gonna go downstairs and take care of some stuff, and I'm gonna come back up and jump back on and check you guys out.
All right.
So
appreciate
All right.
You. Thanks.
Bye.
All right. Take care. Take care.
You too. Right. I was so happy to have him on.
So awesome. He sat in the hot seat real good. He was like, well, I love it when we are able to come on and just talk about almost any and everything with our guests, and he stayed in step too. He wasn't missing his beat. No. Y'all make sure y'all go get his book.
My Butterfly is a beautiful story. You're going to enjoy it, Lissha.
I love it. So, y'all, we're going to take a brief break. Y'all know what it is. We will be right back. Stay tuned.
All righty.